I manifest $30,000 every month with the exact Joe Dispenza-inspired abundance framework that I share with you in today's video. And I 100% believe that you can also multiply your income and your net worth if you use the exact simple steps that I used. And that's why in today's video I reveal the 6 money-generating protocols that build this abundance framework, the exact way I meditate with Joe Dispenza's meditations that effortlessly led to my income of $30,000 a month, and the perfect balance between enjoying life and taking inspired action that maximizes your potential for manifesting large sums of money. But if you do what I did before my spiritual awakening in the year 2020, then you will never manifest any significant amount of money. Because back then, in a time before my first Joe Dispenza week-long advanced retreat, before I got deep into meditating and manifesting, and before I manifested financial freedom for myself, my life was dictated by my victim mentality, by struggle and by suffering. In fact, it was so bad that even the universe still has nightmares from that time.
It was horrible. This guy had a screw loose.
The beliefs I had back then were the complete opposite of the beliefs I have today. And that's why back then I was making barely $1,000 a month, while today I'm making $30,000 a month. And this leads us directly to the first part of the abundance framework, the belief-changing protocol. In his book, You're the Placebo, Joe Dispenza shares with us that we are addicted to our beliefs and that we don't even believe that we can change our beliefs, which then leads to us not seeing any evidence that goes against our core beliefs, even if it's right in front of our eyes. Instead, we continue to chase our limiting beliefs. We continue our addiction to them without realizing that they guide us deeper and deeper into a reality that we don't even want to experience. And this means that the universe might want to present you with evidence that money can come to you easily and that you are worthy of abundance. But as long as you believe that you have to work hard for money and that you are unworthy of success, you won't see this evidence that would lead you directly to the materialization of your manifestation. Now let's have a look at some of the beliefs that were completely normal for me before my spiritual awakening in the year 2020. I just don't have what it takes to be successful. Making a lot of money is really hard. Most rich people are evil. Now, what do you think happens when you truly believe that most rich people are evil and that making a lot of money is really, really hard? Always remember that our subconscious mind does everything in its power to protect us. And in this case, your subconscious mind will do everything in its power to protect you from becoming evil and to protect you from overworking yourself. The result?
I'm sorry, but I can't make you rich.
Now let's have a look at the beliefs that I hold today. I have what it takes to become incredibly successful. Making large sums of money is so easy. Most rich people are genuinely good people. And I know this because I've worked with many high net worth individuals who are incredibly kind, generous, and just wonderful people in my 8-week one-on-one coaching program, the Abundance Reality Shift coaching program. And that's why it's so important for you to change your limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs, which is exactly what we're doing together in week 3 of this one-on-one coaching program. In fact, in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza shared with us that we have to change our beliefs about reality in order to change our lives. And that's why I now want to share the exact 3-step belief-changing protocol with you that allowed me to go from making less than $1,000 a month to making more than $30,000 a month. In step number 1, I invite you to write down all the limiting beliefs that you're currently consciously aware of. And then in step number 2, I invite you to go down memory lane and to ask yourself, have there been any experiences in my life that created limiting beliefs around the desire that I want to manifest? And then in step number 3, that's when you then turn these limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs. And as I mentioned before, this is a process that I guide you through in week number 3 of my Abundance Reality Shift coaching program. And I made the experience with so many of my coaching clients that there is 1 or 2 limiting beliefs that are deeply hidden in your subconscious that you might not even be aware of, but that are responsible for 90% of your money blocks. But what if I told you that doing Joe Dispenza's meditations is not enough? I mean, yes, I love to synchronize my energy to abundance. I love to tune into new potentials, and I love to do Joe Dispenza's walking meditations while I walk like a happy zombie that looks like this. In fact, it happened to me multiple times at the standing part of a Joe Dispenza walking meditation that I was standing there like this. And then suddenly someone was tapping me on the shoulder.
Dude, are you okay?
But even that is not enough, because we have to go beyond meditation. And that's why Joe Dispenza shares with us in his book Becoming Supernatural that we have to reach a state where we embody the new self. And this leads us to the second part of the Abundance Framework, the Embodiment Protocol. And here's why this is so important. The only way for you to arrive at your abundant destination is to embody the abundant self who is a vibrational match to this destination. In his book Evolve Your Brain, The Science of Changing Your Mind, Joe Dispenza invites us to ask ourselves what we have to say, do, act and think differently in order to embody the new self. Which means you can't act and behave like this. And that's exactly what embodiment is all about. So let me ask you, does a truly abundant person walk with nervous tiny steps or with big confident steps? Does a truly abundant person dress in a way that decreases or increases their confidence? Does a truly abundant person talk about problems or opportunities? Does a truly abundant person think that the world is a hostile place or that the world is their playground? Does a truly abundant person give to others or hold on to every penny as if it was their last? If you want to dive in deep into the creation of your new abundant self and the embodiment process, that's something that we do together in week number 3 of the Abundance Reality Shift coaching program. But for now, I invite you to do this. Step 1, answer the questions above for yourself. Step 2, make the conscious choice to walk, talk, act, think, and behave differently. Step 3, invest at least 60 seconds in the morning to look at yourself in the mirror. Do you see your abundant self when you look in the mirror? If not, make some changes. And once you made these changes and you implemented them every day, that's when an income of $30,000 a month will be the natural result. Not doing what I'm about to share with you now will not only make it harder for you to manifest your dreams, it will also make it harder for you to be a really good person. And I've already been to 3 week-long advanced retreats from Dr. Joe Dispenza, which means I practice tuning into my heart a lot. And on this journey, I realized that creating brain and heart coherence and tuning into your heart, activating your heart, is about so much more than just the technique. It's a way of living life, and the universe knows how good it feels.
You feel into your heart, then you feel into your brain, and you let the energy flow. It feels so good.
But that's only the beginning. There is so much more that your heart can do. And this leads us to part 3 of the Abundance Framework, the Heart Opening Protocol. In his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza writes that when we feel negative emotions, our heart rhythm becomes erratic. And when we feel positive emotions, our heart rhythm becomes coherent. And this means the emotions you experience directly impact how your heart functions and behaves. In the same way, your behavior impacts the way your heart feels. Finding the optimal balance between feeling the way your heart wants you to feel and behaving the way your heart wants you to behave makes you a truly powerful manifester. Here is everything that I included in my personal heart-opening protocol that allowed me to reach on a consistent basis an income of $30,000 a month. In step number 1, I activated my heart every day. And while I was tuning into my heart and feeling into my heart, I then repeated the following affirmation. I am in love with life. I love myself. And then in step number 2, I actively worked on being more self-compassionate. I wanted to talk to myself in a way that someone who truly loves me, a best friend, would talk to me. Because I truly believe that the more kindness and love you can give to yourself, the more kindness and love the universe can give to you.
And giving you a lot of money is very kind of me.
And this leads us to action step number 3 of the heart opening protocol, and that's to give. I truly believe that the more you give to others, the more the universe can give to you. And I don't think at all that it's bad to assume to receive more abundance for giving. It's a beautiful cycle. I mean, just imagine it. You make $1,000. You give $500 of these $1,000. Then the universe rewards you with another $2,000 and you can again give more. It's a win-win situation. And this leads us to action step number 4. And that's that years ago, when I embarked on this spiritual journey, my spiritual mentor, who's also a dear family member of mine, said to me, always listen to your heart. And that's exactly what I try to do. No matter how big or small the decision is, I always listen to my heart. In the same way as I listen to my heart to give you an exclusive special bonus session only this month for joining my 8-week Abundance Reality Shift coaching program. And if you want to find out more about it, you can click on the first link in the description. And this leads us to action step number 5. I took every opportunity that I could find to be grateful. Every meal, every coaching session, every beautiful day of sunshine, I just allowed myself to feel grateful. And Joe Dispenza always says that gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership, and in his book, You're the Placebo, Joe Dispenza even shares with us that gratitude opens our heart and it allows the energy to move from the lower energy centers to the higher energy centers. And that's why $30,000 a month had to find me. Sometimes I'm asking myself, what would my life look like if I had not won the fight against my old self? Yes, this old self. The old self that told me that it's impossible to do a 30-minute meditation because that's way too long. The old self that told me that a meditation can't possibly impact my body or my bank account statement. The old self that tried to convince me that I don't even have time to do one meditation a day. Thankfully, I won the battle against the old self, and nowadays I can do multiple meditations a day, and only one Joe Dispenza meditation a day would be kindergarten, or as we Germans like to say it, Kindergarten. And this leads us directly to part 4 of the Abundance Framework, the meditation protocol. This part is all about the exact Joe Dispenza meditations that I do, my daily meditation routine, how I meditate. Now let's jump right into it by reminding you of something that Joe Dispenza shared with us in his book Becoming Supernatural. And that's that when we are constantly busy, we are staying trapped in the survival emotions that make it impossible for us to believe in ourselves. And this leads us to the first lesson that you have to learn before I can share my favorite Joe Dispenza meditations with you. Being busy does not lead you to abundance, even though that's what the world tells you. Being relaxed and taking time for yourself leads you to abundance. Most people will never learn this lesson and allow the outside world to keep them in a perpetual state of busyness until their body breaks down and their bank account is empty. In You Are the Placebo, Joe Dispenza shares with us that meditation takes us from survival to creation. So always remember that the next time you say, I don't have time to meditate. Now it's time to share my favorite Joe Dispenza meditations with you. Synchronizing your energy to abundance, synchronizing your energy to a new life, generating abundance, blessing of the energy centers, falling in love with your body, tuning into new potentials. In fact, it's hard for me to choose the ones I love the most because I love so many of them. Just like I love my meditation routine that I now want to share with you. Morning 60-minute meditation. Most of the time I do the synchronizing your energy to abundance meditation. Afternoon 15 to 30-minute heart coherence meditation. Evening 60-minute meditation. Most of the time I do the blessing of the energy centers meditation. And yes, I love to do the blessing of the energy centers meditation in the evening, even though if you go to a Joe Dispenza week-long advanced retreat, then you will most likely do it early in the morning. And when I'm not blessing my energy centers, then I'm seeing and feeling my future exactly like this. Step 1. Once my heart is activated, I then visualize my future, my dream life from the first person perspective, because that's how I'm really immersed in the experience. And then in step number 2, I feel the elevated emotions of my future, such as gratitude, joy, freedom, and I feel them while I focus my awareness on my heart and I create them with my heart. And I follow these 2 initial steps because in Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza reminds us that by combining a thought with an intention and a coherent heart with an elevated emotion, we are pinging the field. And then in step number 3, that's when I then, after the meditation, lay down, and sometimes this part is included in Joe Dispenza's meditations, for example in the Synchronizing Your Energy to Abundance meditation, and I just lay down in a state of receivership and I try to feel gratitude in my heart, which then allows me to draw signs and synchronicities to me. Now I want to ask you, what is your favorite Joe Dispenza meditation and what are you truly grateful for? Let me know in the comments below. I promise that I will reply to your comment. Now it's time to do something that most people will never achieve in a lifetime. I mean, why do you think there are so many people who have never read a Joe Dispenza book, who don't even know about manifesting, and if you would tell them that they have manifested their lives, then they would call you crazy. And in case you can't see it, that's a beautiful luxury yacht that I was drawing there. So how is that possible? When you then start talking to them, you realize this. They are in love with life. They have been raised to believe in themselves. They had no traumatic experiences in their childhood. They have been encouraged by their teachers. As a result, they believe in themselves, they feel worthy, and they enjoy life to the fullest. That's just how they are.
But if I may say this, that's not how you were at all.
Yep, the universe is right. That's not how I was at all, because through a combination of different childhood traumas, starting with me losing my twin brother during birth, then being born with a congenital heart defect and having multiple heart surgeries. I developed self-hate, I developed, self-destructive behaviors, and I had to learn to love myself, to love my body, and to love my life. And maybe you also made experiences in the past that made it incredibly hard for you to love yourself and to love your life. And in this case, part number 5 of the abundance framework might not just make you abundant, but it will also make your life so much better. And that's the Loving Life Protocol. And I will never forget the exact part in Joe Dispenza's intensive workshop where he mentioned that by creating from the energy of I'm in love with life, we create a life that we love. And now you might be asking yourself, Sebastian, what does this have to do with you manifesting $30,000 a month? It has everything to do with it, and here's why. You always create experiences and circumstances in your life that are equal to your emotional state. If you feel a love for life, you create experiences and circumstances that make you love your life more. More money, financial freedom, the wealth to do whatever you want to do. All these things make you love your life more. Therefore, they are the natural result of feeling a love for life. In fact, in You Are the Placebo, Joe Dispenza actively encourages us to condition our body to be in love with life. And remember what I shared with you earlier about a coherent heart and an erratic heart rhythm. By you falling in love with your life and by you truly loving your life, you will not only change your physical reality, but you will also change your physical body. Now here's how I did it and how you can do it too. Step number 1, do something that you love every day. It can be a meditation, it can be a walk in the park. It doesn't have to be something crazy, but do something that you love every single day and you will love yourself and your life more. And then in step number 2, work with self-love affirmations that you repeat ideally in front of the mirror while you look at yourself. This could be, I'm in love with myself, I love myself, I'm so in love with life. And then in step number 3, I invite you to walk through the world with the eyes of a child, with this childlike wonder, with this curiosity, and you just explore the world new every single day. And this can also make you fall in love with your life so much more. And the more you then fall in love with life, the more your physical reality can reflect this state of I'm in love with life, and then you will receive the abundance that makes you love your life even more. Now, what if I told you that you cannot, under no circumstances, be like Wilhelm? And this is Wilhelm. Hello everybody! On the surface level, Wilhelm does everything right. He does his meditations, he uses affirmations, he's even scripting every day. But he doesn't take any action. Instead, he does this. When will my money arrive? The universe keeps sending him signs, ideas and synchronicities, but Wilhelm doesn't do anything with them. In fact, it got so bad that the universe got fed up.
I don't have time for these shenanigans. I have shit to do.
Please don't be like Wilhelm. Instead, say yes to part 5 of the abundance framework, which is the inspired action protocol. Because here's the truth about manifesting. Manifesting happens when you combine the spiritual realm with the physical realm. It happens when the universe sends us signs, synchronicities, ideas, and mental nudges, and we then use everything the universe gives us to materialize our desires. That's why Joe Dispenza said the following words at one of the week-long advanced retreats I attended. I want you to keep one foot in the spiritual realm and one foot in the physical realm. In his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza invites us to let the unpredictable quantum field orchestrate an event that leads us to our desired reality. And in You Are the Placebo, he reminds us that even though the true change happens in our subconscious, there can still be certain action steps in our physical reality that are required to then arrive at the desired destination. So don't scream, "Universe, do something!" when the universe gives you the perfect mental nudge to apply for your dream job or to start the business that could lead you to way more abundance than you can possibly imagine.
Why don't you do something? I already did my part.
The reason why I was able to manifest $30,000 a month is because I took action when the universe wanted me to take action. And no, I didn't overwork myself, I didn't struggle. I also didn't get any gray hair in the process, at least I hope so. And the same is true for the clients of my 8-week one-on-one coaching program, the Abundance Reality Shift coaching program, who have doubled, tripled, even quadrupled their incomes in their businesses, or who have generated completely new job opportunities that then led to a doubling in their income. They took action when the universe provided them with the signs, synchronicities, and opportunities. And if you decide to work with me one-on-one by going to affirmationtomanifestation.com/abundance or by clicking on the first link in the description, I also invite you to then take action when the universe wants you to take action. And if you click on the first link in the description, you can watch all kinds of testimonials from people who have completed the 8-week Abundance Reality Shift coaching program, and then you can be the next success story. And what if I told you that there was a time when I doubted Joe Dispenza's teachings and meditations? I invite you to watch this video next to find out exactly what changed my mind and the experiences I made that turned me into a believer in Joe Dispenza's work, teachings, and meditations.